All right, very good. Okay, so we are very fortunate. We have Virgil Flores here. I see Virgil. He's looking sharp as always. Very good. So we met Virgil for a few minutes. A month or so ago, we had Robert Brand on, and Virgil was one of the people that just kind of spoke about a little bit about what he does. And instantly, Cindy was interested, because Cindy's a lawyer and legal stuff, and she's dealing with contracts and escrow things all the time. And so she was interested, like, hey, I think this would be a great thing to have our agents to talk about because of all the different things that are going on in terms of our escrows and different legal issues that come up. And so she connected with Virgil and said, hey, yeah, let's do it on a Tuesday at 12:15. Come in, talk to a little bit about your services and what you do, and let the agents ask questions. So we were able to set that up. So first of all, Virgil, we thank you for coming on here and being able to share what your services are, because I do think it's going to be a great value to our agents. And what I would say for everyone else is, I need you to pay attention, because whatever he's going to say, I don't know. And I don't know what he's going to say before, and I don't know what he's going to say after, and I don't know any answers. So if you miss something and you say, Robert, what did he mean by this? I don't know. Okay, so we'll record it so we can watch it again. But this is legal stuff, and the only thing I know about legal is how much attorneys cost. But that's a different story. We'll talk about that another day. All right, good stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to get off the mic. And Virgil, again, thank you so much. We got Virgil Flores from Legal Services of America. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hurdle. Great
Hey, no problem.
introduction, very kind of you. And thank you, Ms. Rubin. I appreciate this opportunity. Can everyone hear me okay?
Hope I can hear you. I think you're good.
Good.
Yes.
My name is Virgil Flores. I own Legal Services of America. We're located here in Rancho Murrieta, California. Excuse me. It was a great day when I came to your office and sponsored Robert Brand to provide his risk management services. Our company follows along in the respect that we are in the risk management business as well. And it was over 30 years ago, I met a realtor who told me about the problems that California realtors were faced with, and that many times they were having to deal with many frivolous nuisance type lawsuits. And so then it started my career. I had been a real estate broker, a real estate agent and an insurance broker. And I had known something about this industry called a group legal service plan. And so that's what started this journey. And now, again, 30 years later, we have thousands of agents in 4 states, I'm proud to say. And I'm here to tell you a little about what we do. I don't want to go over time. Robert, how much time do you think we should allot? Would it 30 minutes? What do you think?
I think if you go till 1 or so, and I mean, that 1 o'clock is certainly perfectly fine. If you want to even push it to 1:15, you're good.
Good, thank you. And I want everyone to feel free in this venue, if you will, just to chime in when you have questions. You can put them in the chat, or don't feel that you're interrupting me in any way. So our services are designed to prevent lawsuits against realtors. That's the whole thing about risk management, is that it's far better to manage that risk prior to you having to deal with any kind of legal problem. And in California, it's a very prevalent matter because California realtors are the second most sued industry in California, second only to doctors. And that out of all the lawsuits that are filed in the United States against realtors, over 50% of them are filed here in California. So it is a hotbed of litigation. And when the realtor is faced with any sort of a threat of a lawsuit, it can be very costly. As Robert said, it's very costly, number one, in the way of legal fees. Most attorneys will charge $750 an hour. And also, many of these frivolous nuisance type lawsuits were nothing more than a quick walk to what I call the bank of errors and omissions insurance. And the bank of E&O is quick to pay off because many times what they're paying this person off with is your deductible money. So number one, what we do is we engage the buyer and seller in their own risk management system. We found that by giving them a way out of their unhappiness, what will happen is they won't want to sue anyone. They'd rather mediate than litigate. And because the residential purchase agreement directs them to mediation before they arbitrate, it's a perfect fit. And I'm proud to tell you that now 98% of the time it prevents these problems from ever rising to the level of a reportable claim against your errors and omissions insurance. And our promise to you is that if you get named in a lawsuit, our company will pay the E&O deductible up to $5,000 on your behalf. So first and foremost, when your buyer and seller choose Century 21 Masters and you as their agent, they're getting something of great value that many offices don't offer. Now, we have also a couple fellow Century 21s signed up. Century 21 Escrow and Century 21 Ludicrous are both our clients. What it means is that when the buyer or seller choose you as their realtor, they're getting something more than they would from the average realtor because they're getting mediation after the close of escrow that goes on for life, meaning that if there's ever any kind of unhappiness that would come from the transaction, our company will be there to manage it and mediate it and help buyers and sellers to work out their own differences without expensive litigation. And again, this works 98% of the time in preventing that problem from going to your E&O. And if we can't stop the lawsuit, I like to say we put our money where our mouth is by paying the E&O deductible on your behalf. And that's up to $5,000. Now, I should tell you that this service is not for every office because it does take a certain level of participation there at your company for us to be able to provide our services. And I will tell you that if in fact, in 1 week from today, if your company decides to go forward, anyone that would sign up with our company, I will agree to cover all of their past transactions going back to the first day they started there at the company. Now, into the benefits. The buyer and seller that again chooses you will receive lifetime mediation after the close of escrow. Any sort of legal problem, any sort of unhappiness, if you will, that comes up after the close of escrow, our company will be there to manage it and mediate it for life, forever. So now you're not going to be bothered by that situation. You're not going to be distracted from what you do best. But when there's unhappiness, you're going to let your risk management team kick in to help to resolve that problem. And of course, it's all to the benefit of your buyer and seller because now they're not hiring an expensive attorney, paying their kids' college money to litigate this situation. Also, as part of our service to your buyer and seller, prior to the close of escrow, if they have a legal question, a transactional, non-dispute legal question that could impede, delay, or stop the transaction from going forward, now they have the ability to call on one of our panel real estate attorneys to get the answers they need and to move forward into escrow. Now, there are many times these legal questions could impede or delay the transaction, but now you've got a real estate attorney there to help the people into escrow. One of the reasons we did this is very important that real estate agents not give legal advice. We know that it's against the NAR Code of Ethics, Article 13, and it's far better to allow an independent real estate attorney to give the advice that those buyers and sellers need. Now, does that bring up any questions? Let me give you some examples of the types of questions we receive all the time here at our company. The owner needs legal advice concerning bankruptcy and the best time to file. Buyer has questions pertaining to an easement and exceptions from coverage on title report and Schedule B, number 4, and judgment for spousal support. Dispute between the buyer and seller over earnest money deposit. Buyer needs legal advice concerning appraisal and the impact it would make on the purchase price if the bank saw the appraisal. Dispute between buyer and seller over the security deposit. Buyer and seller reached an agreement and the transaction is now moving forward. Buyer has received a counteroffer and would like to discuss with an attorney before proceeding. Seller backed out and submitted cancellation. Buyer still wants to purchase property. I've included this in the chat, an entire broker package with this list of 47 different ways that people have called in to either get legal questions answered or to get us to resolve some sort of dispute after the close of escrow. Now your buyer and seller don't have to sue anyone if there's some hidden defect found in the property. Especially, they don't have to sue you as the real estate agent. Now, as part of our service, many times these problems will jump the road, if you will, and become an issue for you as the agent. In those cases, our company will also provide you with your own vigorous risk management system. The first benefit is you will also receive your own unlimited legal advice and document review. Also, as part of our service, we will send out 3 letters on your behalf to fend off these problems. We call these our Patriot Missile letters. They're designed to resolve these disputes and to explain to the other party that you have zero legal exposure in this matter. Now, let me, if I may, share the screen and provide some written information. One second, please. Here are some of the testimonials from many of our satisfied clients. I hope you can all see those now. I would highly recommend Legal Services of America. Elena Becker was excellent and very knowledgeable. I will continue to use their services on every transaction. My clients were very impressed and appreciative of this support. I would not have had the confidence to pursue the retrieval of my commission had it not been for the services of LSOA. Elena guided me through the process and bent over backwards to make sure I was aware of my situation legally and could not have been more helpful and cooperative. I highly recommend LSOA for any realtor that's tired of being pushed around or intimidated. I mentioned that one because it was written to us by a fellow by the name of James Joseph. Excuse me. Mr. Joseph at one time owned 6 Century 21 offices, including he was the co-owner of Century 21 Grisham Joseph. Now let me again go into the benefits for your buyers and sellers. These services are available prior to the close of escrow. Your buyer and seller will receive telephone consultation for up to 1/2 hour per subject matter regarding any non-dispute transactional legal question. And again, there is no limit to the amount of the number of matters eligible for this consultation, as long as they pertain to different legal matters. Again, here are some examples of the many questions that we receive from buyers. How to take title, buying bank-owned property, purchase of a short sale, questions regarding a will or trust-held property, escrow questions. Frequently asked questions for sellers, short sale, bankruptcy, deed in lieu, foreclosures, title issues, 1031 exchange, disclosure questions, tenant occupied questions, escrow questions. Now, again, your buyers and sellers can call and ask as many legal questions as they want. There is no limit to the amount of questions they may ask, 30 minutes per subject matter. And at the end of it, if there is no close, there is no fee for that. Also, this is incorrect. We will be providing a 16-page document review by a real estate attorney before, during, and after the close of escrow. Then beyond that, there is the informal and dispute resolution services that we'll provide, and those go on for as long as that transactional list exists, true forever coverage. Does that bring up any questions? Excuse me.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
For this. So you mean if the transaction, what if the transaction does close?
Okay, if the transaction does close, is that your question?
Yeah, you said no limit and then for 30 minutes and then if there is no close,
If there
no
is,
fee for this.
good. The question is if there is no close, then there is no fee. We only ask that you put our fee of $149 on each one of your future closed transactions for 1 year. But again, if your client was to receive our services, as an example, many times we answer legal questions or we help with deposit disputes that don't result in a closed transaction, and there is no fee for that. We will also provide estate planning to your client, including telephone consultation, document review, and if there's any services that they need outside our covered benefits, we will provide them at a 25% rate reduction. The attorney will actually reduce their hourly fee by up to 25%. Here are some examples of the types of matters that we've provided our mediation and dispute resolution services. After buyers moved in, they discovered water damage in the upstairs guest bedroom. Seller later admitted he forgot to disclose. After moving in, buyers discovered there was an easement and a fence line issue. This was an agreement with the sellers and the neighbors and was never disclosed. After buyers started redecorating, they discovered mold and water behind the living room wall. Buyers behind the living room wall, seller never disclosed. Buyers go to use pool and discover the motor in the waterfall is in need of being replaced. Pool inspection did not state this. There again is the list of the 47 different examples of how people have used our services in the past. Buyers and sellers have used our services. I've included that in your chat room in the broker's package. Here are just a few of some of the clients that have used our services over the years. Please feel free to call on any of our references. We currently have all of the Excellence real estate offices signed up. Century 21 here in Monterey, First Family Homes in Downey, HomeSmart. We do business with all sorts of real estate offices. HomeSmart Realty Group there in Long Beach is one. I'll just tell a little story about that office only because it was kind of interesting. We started out with just 3 agents, and then it was about a year later that the broker said that if 150 agents did not sign up, they would have to take their license and leave. So it really proved to us that the system does work. Now here's a list of our attorneys. We have over 200 law firms that now become a part of your team, and they're all across the state. And I saw a very hardworking lady there in Nevada. We're able to provide services. Now, sometimes these problems become a problem for the agent. If we, as much as we can, are effective at preventing the lawsuit by mediation, by providing mediation, sometimes these problems become a threat or a money demand or against the agent. And in those cases, our company will provide a 30-minute telephone consultation with a real estate attorney per legal matter pertaining to a real estate transaction, and there is no limit for that service. Review of all relevant transactional documents, up to 16 pages. Then we will write our famous Patriot Missile cease and desist letters on your behalf. These are very effective at telling the other party that you will not be held accountable or that you will not be threatened by this matter because of the fact that all of your legal fees will be paid for, and you cannot be pressured into settling an unmeritorious claim because the deductible is also being satisfied. Small claims court matters, commission collection, risk management, as we've talked about for your buyers and sellers. Mediation, we provide 5 hours. If you're drawn into a mediation, you'll have an attorney at your side. Board of Realtor hearings, mediations, or arbitrations. If you have a need for an attorney outside our covered benefit, you will also receive up to a 25% rate reduction. I'm opening up our enrollment today, and if you were to agree to sign up within 1 week, by next Tuesday, March 14th, I will waive our $300 membership fee and also give you full past acts coverage to cover all of your transactions going back to the first day you started there at your company. And as long as we can get enough participation, I'll also be able to pay your E&O deductible of up to $5,000 if you ever got named in a lawsuit. Now, does that bring up any questions? Now let me go into,
Excuse me.
go ahead.
Yeah, what is the difference on the coverage if you have EO insurance?
What is the difference if you have E&O?
Yeah, well, we all have to have one, right?
Right.
Is that part of the coverage as well, or is that in addition to it?
The E&O insurance that your company has is separate from anything that I'm offering. And I will tell you, though, that the only way that we can benefit you in that regard is, again, if you get named in a lawsuit, you would normally sometimes have to pay the deductible. But in our case, we pay that for you, that $5,000 or $2,500 E&O deductible.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the $149 is only paid, again, at the successful close of the transaction. And you can use our invoice that I've shown you an example of. In fact, if you decide to join, that needs to come with every payment, either if you pay the fee or if it's paid through escrow. And it's very simple to fill out, and it tells us the address of the covered transaction. Who did you represent? Did you represent the buyer or seller? You can have the buyer or seller authorize this and then just, again, have the submit this to escrow and have the fees paid to our company from the proceeds of the transaction. And other than that, we are going to mail them a package of benefits to explain to them all the services they receive. Now, for all of that, here's the fun stuff. We turned this, we did not know, but initially we only wanted to provide a buyer-seller risk management service to prevent lawsuits. But now many of our clients are using this as a marketing tool. So now when you go into your next appointment, you're going to be able to provide them customized marketing materials with your company logo and your name. So now it's something that belongs to you and that you can use as an effective listing tool and a way to close more transactions. It explains to you, your buyer and seller, that Century 21 Masters is proud to offer our clients a risk management program provided by Legal Services of America. This program will provide you access to a team of real estate attorneys before, during, and after the close of escrow. Legal questions may arise at any time during your transaction, and our real estate attorneys can assist you with those questions should you need it for the sale or purchase of your property. Also, a personal liaison will assist you on any issue involving the property, making sure you're prepared for your telephone consultation, that you have the correct documents for review, and scheduling all appointments between you and the real estate attorney or mediator. And then after that, we follow up 3 months for 90 days to make sure that matter has been dealt with properly. And then I've already spoke to you about the telephone consultation with the real estate attorney for the buyers and sellers. Very usable. You could take our trifold brochure that I've shown and also customize that. It tells them why they need risk management. And it explains that you cannot give legal advice as a real estate attorney. So this is a service that you provide. And this also can have your name and your logo. And then it also goes into all the benefits. So here's a great marketing piece. Now, does that bring up any questions?
Yes, it does. So you were mentioning, well, first of all, thank you for giving us this orientation.
You're welcome.
And then my question to you is, this comes as a membership, correct?
Yes.
And the cost for this membership is yearly paid or monthly, or how does this work, did you say?
Right. The services are paid on a per transaction basis, and they're
Okay.
$49 per transaction. It can be paid for by your buyer or seller, or gifted, as a closing gift by yourself. The fee does have to be on every one of your future closed transactions for 1 year. That's the only requirement. And for that, we will provide all of the services I've described.
Are there any additional costs for us?
Normally, we charge a one-time $300 membership fee, but as a service to anyone that was a part of the Robert Brand presentation, we are waiving that. And I'm also saying to you that if you sign up within 1 week, I'll agree to cover all of your past transactions, every deal you've ever touched there at that company.
And you are located in Sacramento, and like myself, I'm in Orange County. So is there anybody local that I would call, or would we call your office?
That's a good question. You call our office, and then we then refer you to the local attorney. Our best law firm's in Irvine. Our biggest.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. let me go over the services again. We've still got a little bit of time here, and I'm happy to answer any questions. So again, I propose that your company would allow our company, Legal Services of America, to manage all of your risk there at your office, manage all your legal matters, and provide unlimited risk management to your buyers and sellers. For that, our company will only ask that you please pay a fee of $149 on each one of your future closed transactions. Our company will agree to pay up to a $5,000 errors and omissions insurance deductible if you ever get named in a lawsuit. I assure you this will give your company peace of mind, and it will also go a long way to preserving and protecting your E&O policy. That's very important. I can tell you that E&O policies are very sensitive to any sorts of lawsuits. And after even a couple of them, I've seen where people's deductible will go up to $10,000 or $25,000. So you don't want to have to suffer through any of these problems. And please allow my company to serve you. Thank you. Is there any more questions? Okay. I think I saw a question in the chat. Let me go to it. From Laura, she's asking a fee of $40-something. Yes, the fee.
Oh, that was private, sir, but it's okay.
Oh, sorry, no problem. So sorry. Let me just tell you that the fee, so we're clear, is $149, and it's paid for 1 year on each one of your future closed transactions.
I don't see anything in the chat box with the information you said that you provided. Maybe I got on too late.
Up at the very top of the chat box, but above new messages, I put all the information, but I'm going to I'm going to put those in again so that they'll be more accessible to you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I want to thank you all for your time today. Feel free to call me. I'm happy to come back at a future meeting. I want to wish you all a great day and stay legally healthy and out of court. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cindy, are you trying to say something? Because we can't hear you.
I'm still here in case Cindy has a question, of course.
Well, she might, but she looks, I can see her lips moving, but there's no words coming out.
Oh, wait, she's on mute.
All right, good job. All right, well, good job. Any more questions for Virgil? He'll put his information in the chat box so you can reach out to him. But
Robert.
other than that, I did have this recorded, so we'll get this. Cindy said her microphone's not working. Okay, great. So we will get this uploaded and ready to be shared here in the next few days. But other than that, Virgil, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the information. This is something I didn't really know about. So, glad that we had someone come on here to clarify all this stuff for us. So very, very good stuff. If you want to repost that, take that time to repost that stuff in the chat box while everyone is still here. And then that way they can capture that.
Thank you.
And there you go. All right,
very
good
much.
stuff. All right, everybody. Well, there you go again. Good stuff there. So if you need Virgil or you have any questions for him, just guess Cindy. No, still can't hear you, Cindy. Tell Jasmine, and then Jasmine can chime in. Or somebody who's in Diamond Bar or wherever you are. Yeah, okay.
Plenty of time. I'm still here.
All right, there you go. All right, good job. All right, well, good. All right, well, Virgil's going to repost the stuff that he had. I just posted, again, his information there as far as his phone number and website. He'll post those flyers and stuff that he was talking about earlier, but obviously a great tool to have in your toolbox and always something that we can offer to our clients just for a little extra protection and all that jazz. So very good stuff. Glad we had him on here.
Thank you.
And good information. So, all right, if you need anything, he's going to be around. And then starting at, while anyone is coming up with any additional questions, we still have, let me share the rest of the afternoon for you. We got open mic slots. We got Caesar going at 1, Frank's at 1:30, Rudy's at 2, Frank's at 2:30, and then Matab's doing 3, 3:30, and 4. So jam-packed afternoon as well. So there you go. All right, everyone. Good stuff. If you need anything, I'm around. If you don't need anything, I'm not around. If you need something from Cindy, don't message her on Zoom because she can't speak to you.
Oh, she's gonna get you.
I think what Cindy's saying right now is we have such a great audience and she loves everyone here. She greatly appreciates all that you do. And thank you. I think that's what she was trying to say. Yeah, I think that's what she was trying to say. Good stuff. All right, everyone. Good work. Caesar will take over at 1 o'clock. Until then, if you have more questions for Virgil, make sure you reach out to him and we'll go from there. Virgil, thank you. And thank you.
Pleasure, sir. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate it.